A certain island-dwelling woman from the other hemisphere, whom I met in a hotel in Prague, told me the following. People have always logged with them millions of bacteria, viruses, and diseases. There's no way to stop it, but we can at least try. After the worldwide panic over mad cow disease, some countries introduced new legislation. Any of the residents of her island who went away to Europe could no longer donate blood. It might be said that, according to the law, they suffered from lifelong contamination. And this would now be her case. She would never be able to give blood now. This was the price of her trip, not included in the cost of the ticket. Lost purity, lost honor. I asked her if it was worth it, if it made sense to sacrifice the purity of her blood for the pleasure of looking around a few cities, churches, and museums. She answered seriously that all things have a price. This will be my selected quote. From the quote, it emphasizes the truth of the world, that everything that we see or do, even the slightest things like going to a museum, all had pasts that were not so beautiful. Every judgment we make or decide all comes with consequences. Even little things like saying, I love you, or making love to someone, all have outcomes. Like in physics, Newton's first law states that every object will remain at rest unless compelled to change its state by the action of an external force. Moving on, I want to talk about two more sentences that are really significant to this chapter. The first one is, according to the law, they suffered from lifelong contamination, and lost purity, lost honor. In my opinion, it's not a physical law, but a mental one. If an individual does something that opposes to what they're supposed to, society will view that as somehow a stain buried within them forever, no matter how many years have passed. Like Hester Prynne, for example, from The Scarlet Letter, who has to wear a red A for adultery and carry it around with her despite cruel eyes from other people. For the sentences lost purity and lost honor, it shows the importance of how people mentally perceive blood. Strong examples can be seen in royalty. In the past, it was a norm to be married within the family to continue the bloodline. This has taken effect in children's movies and books as well. For instance, in Harry Potter, wizards are differentiated based on the purity of their blood. Purebloods are seen as superior and on the topmost of the hierarchy, whereas Muggleborn or Mudblood are at the bottom. In contrast, when blood gets out of our body, it's viewed differently. A traditional mindset of women during puberty is considered dirty still thrives in societies like India and Thailand. In Nepal, they have what is called a Kumari. It's a tradition of worshipping child goddesses. To be a Kumari, a child must come from a noble bloodline and most importantly, must be in the age before puberty. Once chosen, they have to live and dress a certain way until their puberty comes, and that'll mean the end of their value as a goddess. Before finishing off, I want to leave two questions to you guys. What does it mean to have purified blood? What is the purity of blood to you?